Gus Worland here from Gotcha4Life, and I've got a man on the line who lives and breathes the same world as most of us do. His name is Joel. He's from Waves of Wellness. And Joel, welcome. How are you, mate?
Thanks, Gus. I'm wonderful, mate. It's a bit different talking to each other from our own homes, isn't it?
It sure is. That was one of the things I wanted to talk to you about, because I know how much you love connection and how much you like to get the word out on that it's okay not to be okay, and let's normalize the fact that we're going through stuff. How difficult has it been for you guys? Because Waves of Wellness is all around surfing. So how have you been able to pivot through this sort of isolation?
Yeah, it's really interesting. I mean, Waves of Wellness is a surfing therapy charity all around mental health and wellbeing. And obviously having programs on the beach which have been cancelled means that things have really changed for us. So we've had to pivot. We've had to be quite creative and innovative. And we've taken our virtual surf therapy programs into obviously an online capacity. And so now we're running the same groups. It's an 8-week program for 10 participants, 8 different mental health themes. It's all a bunch of fun and laughs, but doing that virtually in your own home, the safety of your own home, is absolutely important for us, because obviously we know that our communities are absolutely struggling now more than ever with mental health challenges, with increased anxiety, with the stress associated with COVID-19. And so instead of just putting our hands in the air and going, no, we're just going to wait until the beaches are open again, it's important that we're creative and we do something differently to support them.
It's one thing I've noticed with quite a few of the program partners that we support at Gotcha4Life, being sort of your tomorrow man, your tomorrow woman, and your man anchors and so forth, Joel, is that I was like, how are we going to build the safe environment to have the conversations that are really going to make a difference? Well, in fact, there's some people that would never walk to a surf club and go into it and sit amongst 150 blokes and open up. There's just no way blokes are going to put their hand up if they're in a school or a sporting environment. This has actually allowed a whole set of new people to feel brave enough to go, yep, I'm going to bite down here and I'm going to get the help I need.
Yeah, totally. And there is a lot of complex challenges that are going on and people are struggling at the moment, but there's also a number of silver linings in this. Like, we've got programs that are very geographically inaccessible for people that don't live by the coast, obviously. Yeah. And so now we're opening up programs to have men and women from all around Australia join our programs. And we haven't had any international signups yet, but I'm waiting for it, Gus. But that's the joy of what we're doing here. It's really exciting, because instead of having that, I guess, the restriction and that boundary around you can only have people that can access this group in person, now we can get way more creative on how we can support people that are in those more far-fetched communities that are probably more isolated than most of us.
Yeah, and probably need it more than a lot of us as well. Joel, how have you taken what you do in the surf to the safety of someone's home? Could you give us an example?
Yeah, so basically we have a 1-hour discussion where we're going into what we call an expression session. And it's being able to normalize mental health challenges and talk about it from our own experience. Because if we're vulnerable and we're sharing our own experience, then open up. And so as mental health clinicians, all of our guys who run these programs are trained mental health professionals, but then they're also using their own lived experience as an opportunity to connect. So we're talking about stories, we're normalizing, we have cognitive behavioral therapy sort of themes around mental health and wellbeing, how to cope, how to manage, especially in these sorts of times. And then we're doing sort of fun interactive games where we're going around the circle and having a lot of laughs together. We're even doing virtual party waves. Gus, you would love this. We're playing a point of view video on the screen, and it's a surfer in the barrel, and everyone has to at home, record the video of him surfing. It's hilarious to watch everyone doing it on the grid view on Zoom.
That's very, very cool. And that just shows that no matter what the situation is, if you do put yourself in a place to be vulnerable and be up for a bit of a laugh and stuff, you can go to a place where you can make real change.
Absolutely. And Gotcha4Life are big on mental fitness and making sure that we're maintaining our mental health and wellbeing rather than it getting to that place of despair. And Waves of Wellness absolutely live and breathe that as well. We're about having these conversations at the right time, in the right way, and absolutely talking about things rather than bottling them up. A lot of those guys out there will go, no, that's a pussy to open up about your emotions. And you're big on this with the whole man up situation. But look, I really challenge guys to say that harden the fuck up and actually break down and talk, because that's more tough. That's me being more brave, and that's how you get the support and give the support.
Yeah, exactly right. And when I do come across that, which I do, as you do all the time, is when I get a chance to have a talk one-on-one or in a group of blokes where I'm allowed to express how I feel, I'm saying, look, 5-6 years ago, I didn't understand any of this either. like I'm learning as I'm going along here. I had such a journey with Man Up and finding out why I think my friend took his life. But now I realize the bravest thing to do, the hardest thing to do, is actually to open up and be vulnerable. Surely that's more manly than doing something that is relatively easy and just sort of fits a stereotype. It's about educating yourself, you know, and as blokes sort of get that, unfortunately, I still find in this country that we need to have some sort of trauma or drama to allow us to learn these sort of new ways of being a man. I just wish we could just all dive in and go, right, there's a new way out there, and I'm gonna embrace it now, rather than having something to shock you into doing it.
But once people can get past that stigma or that stereotype of, no, this is not me, I have to be unwell to access this, they start to unfold those layers of the onion and realize, wow, this is transformational and this is actually having a massive impact in my life. And now in these times where people are socially isolating, well, I like to call it they're physically isolating, but they're still socially connecting. And I think that's really important to think about it like that. But when we're in our own environments, we're not able to get out and connect with those people around us. It's more important, I guess, now more than ever, like I said earlier, that we are actually doing things that keep us well and that are almost a part of our wellness toolkit or our recipe for a wellness cake. And basically, for me, surfing is what I love and live and breathe. And I've surfed for 20 plus years and I know what it does for my own mental health and how to manage that. But when we're told that the beaches are closed and all of a sudden we're not allowed to go down there and access that, it's like, what? How do we manage this? And so we're having to get super creative. But being able to have those video chats and those connections with people that you might not get a chance to talk to every day is where you can start to have those really honest conversations with each other.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And I said it this morning on the Today Show. It's an opportunity to reboot the computer, which is the world, which is the planet, and go, right, are we actually living the world and the way we want to live moving forward, or can we make a change now? You know, and
I love that. It's
I think
our junk email. Yeah, our junk folder on our computers is full. Our hard drives are full. The computer's crashing. We're having a meltdown. Press the restart button. I love that. That's brilliant.
Yeah, and that's the way to do it. And I just hope once this all goes away, I hope that we learn the lessons from where we're doing now. My son and daughter are playing on a puzzle now. They have never done that. They are 16 and 20 years of age. I've got a nephew here lying in the sun reading a book with the dog at his legs. You know what I mean? This just wouldn't have happened otherwise. I know they might be at uni and school and stuff, but at some stage, remember what we're doing here and go, you know what, that's a habit that I might take forward. Could you tell us, Joel, sort of, if you like, a top 5 tips for our community, people who love what you're doing and love what Gotcha4Life are doing, some tips to get them through isolation?
Yeah, absolutely. Top 5. I would say boundaries is the first one. Having a really clear boundary between when you start work and when you finish work, and being able to have, I guess, an understanding of how your family environment plays into that. You're no longer sitting at your office desk and have to make the decision to go home. You're sitting at the kitchen bench and you've got your family around you. So having really clear boundaries would be my first one. Having regular breaks and being able to get up and get active. So that moving, that physical activity to keep the blood flowing, keep the brain active, get some endorphins going, even whether that's push-ups, pop-ups if you're a surfer, keeping yourself active and running on the spot. Whatever that is, yeah, you got it, Gus. You got the good stance there. But whatever that is, getting active, right? That's so important, because sedentary behavior can be a real killer for, I guess, your mental health and well-being in a nutshell. I would also say that reach out to people that you might not be, you might be concerned that they're not doing too well, or you might reach out to someone that you know you can connect with and have a really honest conversation with about how you're going. Those people around you that can lift you through these times are really important. Yeah. I would also say that when you're dealing with this stuff in your own home, that you might get quite frustrated, then give yourself a break. Be kind to yourself, because this is not usual. And it's that kindness is what's going to get you through. And the final thing that I would probably urge people to remind themselves of is this is not going to last. This is not the new normal. I absolutely hate when people say that, because it's not going to stay around, and we don't have to think about this as how life is going to be forever. We just have to get through this bumpy patch, and that bumpy patch can be pretty tumultuous, and there's definitely lots of stuff you can put into your wellness toolkit to get through that, but it's not going to last.
No, I think you're absolutely right, Joel. And that your point 4 there, I've been trying to make that point to people as well. I'm trying to be positive, I'm trying to be upbeat and so forth. But, I had days where I really struggled to get off the sofa, and I watched, my wife was in isolation coming out of Tokyo. So I had 14 days by myself, meant to be the parent in the household of 3 teenagers. And I watched 80 episodes of The Wire on Foxtel.
80?
80. 80. There was like 8 seasons. I went, I remember this show from years back. I'm going to watch it. And I just got hooked. So there was days there where I went 3 or 4 days in a row where I just went, you know what, that's all I'm going to do today. And I was kind to myself and went, that's what I'm going to do. But I reckon if it went any longer, if I went into another show, that would have been a funk. And hopefully I would have told someone, I could pull myself out of it. But it is okay not to be okay. It's all right to have a shitty couple of days and not shave and not get up. But I'm shaving every day. I'm trying to start my day in a positive way with a shower, as I would if I was going to the radio station. And that's certainly helping. But if it gets too much, give yourself a bloody break and realise that it's not going to be easy every day.
Yeah. And I love the shower. That's a really powerful one, because I've seen a lot of people have their pajamas on all day, and they've got their business top on the top, but then on the bottom, they're just wearing their boxer shorts or what have you. And I think that for me, I actually use cold showers. I think that getting in the shower and having a freezing cold shower is the most amazing thing.
How long for? How long's the shower?
Minimum of 30 seconds. You can't get out before then. And you have to have your forehead and the top of your head. No, you just breathe through it. You allow. It's almost a mindfulness exercise of you're very mindful of your current body state. But I think it's quite a powerful way to get you almost jolted into, all right, I'm alive. And when you step out of that shower, it's almost like you've just been electrocuted. Yes, let's get this day.
That's great, Joel. Well, try the shower as well. And let us know, everyone, what you thought of Joel's from Waves of Wellness's thoughts on that. I know there's that doctor, isn't there, over in Germany or Holland or something, that tells us all about we should be living our best world at sort of 4 degrees or something. So, well, good on you, Joel. And it's so lovely to connect with you. Let's hope that we do it again. I might do this over the next month or so, and we can talk more around Waves of Wellness and so forth. But how can people get hold of you?
Yeah, absolutely. So Waves of Wellness is at Foundation Wow on Instagram, or foundationwow.org on the website. And basically the person that you're thinking of is Wim Hoff. So if you're wanting to do some ice bath challenges or something pretty wild out there, I love what Wim Hof is all about, and being mindful is definitely the way to go. So great to catch up with you, Gus. Love what you guys are doing at Gotcha4Life, and sending you lots of good vibes from Waves of Wellness.
Good on you, mate. And really looking forward to hopefully working with you once we get through all this drama as well. It's a lovely connect with like-minded people that have no ego, who just want to have a crack and try to make everyone just that much more mentally fit. So thanks for your time.
Amen. Love your work. See you soon, mate. Give me your best shaka.
Shaka!